Welcome, beautiful people, and welcome to the full moon. Today is the full moon. Full moon in Aries. If you are with us when this is filmed on October 9th of 2022. Now, if you are in any other moment, if we're calling the moment, it's always a now moment. If we're calling the moment something other than October 9th, 2022, when you watch this, all good. The full moon is going to come around again, isn't it? And the full moon in Aries will come around again. And maybe 20 years from this date, it'll be the full moon in Aries again. I don't know. Either way, today is a full moon in Aries. And I do have on my sun moon shirt today. Yeah, I got on my sun moon shirt today. Let's get in the vibe of the full moon. Let's get in the vibe of the full moon, family. Every day I look at the moon. You know, I'm not out often at night yet. When I'm in my home in Mexico, I have a sun moon rooftop kind of deck, an upstairs deck. And I get to look and gaze at the sun in the mornings, early in the mornings, and I get to look at the moon. And sometimes I even sleep under the full moon, which is super fun. Let's have a deep breath and welcome in the energy of the full moon. And because today is full moon in Aries, we will bring up the magical prayer for today for your rituals. The magical prayer, or we could call it the words of power, or we could call it the incantation, or we could call it a spell for full moon in Aries. Deep breath. And as we're breathing, we will bring that up and share the full moon in Aries ritual prayer. Let me come off screen share for just a quick moment. Okay, we're good. Be sure I'm not showing all my business up in here. One time I opened it, email was open. I was like, oh damn, what am I doing? Whole world is looking at email. Could be client confidential emails in there. There were none, so we're good. We're good. All right, you just have to be careful on screen share, right? What if I was watching a porn movie or something like that and it popped up on ACIM? Highly inappropriate. But hey, if you're doing sex magic, which we are next weekend in Atlanta, and Sacred Sexuality on Saturday, October 15th. Saturday, October 15th. It's at ValerieLove.com, global events. Go there and register. You only have until Friday to get yourself registered. Then it would be okay. All right, let's go to the magical prayer for today. Don't look for this on my website. This is actually my account. You're looking inside my account where this is the software I use for writing books. And the authors who are in the program that is now closed, soon we'll be starting to work with the authors. The authors will know all about this because I will teach the authors about this. In the meantime, we're bringing up the magical prayer, the book Magical Prayers for the Christian Witch. So you want to go to christianwitches.com. I'll show you how you get to this book. And when you go to christianwitches.com, you're just going to click on books. And when you get there, you will scroll down to the Christian Witchcraft Starter Kit. And it is this purple beauty right here. Magical Prayers for the Christian Witch. People seem to love this book. It's got tons of amazing 5-star reviews. And if you have this book, please leave a review for us. This is a book that has correspondences with tarot and essential oils. Let's go to full moon, and you can see how many prayers there are. Angelic prayers for the 4 archangels of the presence, New moon prayers, 12 new moon prayers, 12 full moon prayers. Also, prayers for each spring equinox and spring equinox, fall equinox, winter solstice, summer solstice. Also, the prosperity prayer. These are prayers for wealth and abundance. These are ritual prayers. These are issue specific magical prayers. These are magical prayers based on Psalms. The first 9 are based on Psalms. Let's go to the full moon in Aries. Here we are. And here is our full moon in Aries incantation. Pray this prayer when you're conducting your full moon in Aries rituals you're inspired to. The essential oils that are paired with this prayer, you don't have to use it. You can use it if you desire. Cassia, peppermint, pardon me, lemon, orange, spearmint, and choose your own by inspiration. The tarot cards to meditate on, of course, is key 4, the Emperor. My first tarot teacher, the incredible Geraldine Amaral, was my first tarot teacher, I don't know, about 16, 17 years ago on this planet, in this lifetime. Geraldine Amaral called the major arcana keys. Each of the 22 is a key that unlocks mysteries and unlocks doors and dimensions. Key 4 is the Emperor, which is about dominion, order, rulership, and authority. Or you can choose your own tarot cards by inspiration to meditate on, and Aries does rule the Emperor card. Here's our prayer. Source, creator, creatrix, I am one with the one. I am one with all. In this knowing of oneness, I ask and know that whatsoever I ask is already answered. With this utter and complete faith and trust in the universe of life, I make the following requests on this full moon in Aries. I ask to be liberated of all past hurts, pains, and sorrows. I ask to be liberated from all suffering and for all to be liberated from all suffering. I ask to be emotionally balanced, wise, and harmonious in all my relationship dealings, especially relationships that have proven challenging to me. I ask to give up neediness, control, and manipulation for the higher vibratory planes of giving from overflow, emotional generosity of spirit, abundance, and pure unconditional love that asks or seeks nothing in return, yet is fully open and receptive to life. I ask to be liberated from any constrictions in consciousness and any constraining energies that I am aware of that can lock or stalemate me and or my creations. I ask to be liberated from doing things my own way without trusting divine guidance and or thinking/believing I have to figure it all out on my own without any help or support. I know I am fully supported in everything I think, say, and do. The universe does not play favorites, and if it did, I would be a favorite. I am favored by God, Goddess, I am. I now embrace, harness, and utilize the power of this full moon in Aries to rid myself of all energies that no longer serve my evolutionary growth and development. I am liberated in the here and now. I am freed of the grips of the lower self. I am that I am. Amen. Let us breathe. And be liberated This is the cosmic take out the trash day. Full moon every 28 days, we get the opportunity to give up, to bring to it in, to complete a cycle, to complete something, to finish it, to be rid of it, toss it in the trash. I call it take out the trash, cosmic take out the trash day. Let it go, be liberated today in the energy of the Aries full moon. A Course in Miracles lesson 282. Sheesh. Oh, Course, you going for the jugular today. I will not be afraid of love today. Oh, I'm so scared of love. Oh, I'm so afraid of love. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. I will not be afraid of love today. Ooh, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Just like the statement from the Course a few weeks ago, I will not be insane today. Just like the statement yesterday. I will not hurt myself today. And today, I will not be afraid of love today. Whew, it's starting to sound very much like the 42 Confessions of Ma'at up in here. Yes, it's all alignment. Because Christ did go to Egypt for many, many, many lost years, the years that are not in the Bible, but you can still find them. I will not be afraid of love today. Say it to yourself. Because we're afraid of love. Even as we proclaim, oh no, I want love. I'm not afraid of love, Reverend Val. I want love. Okay. How about we go deeper, beloved? How about we go deeper? If I could realize but this today, salvation would be reached for all the world. If I could realize, what is realize? To realize does not mean it's in your head. A realization means you make it real. You make it tangible. You make it substantive. That's what realize means. Oh my God, I realized. We have misused the word realize, and we believe realize means, well, I had a thought that changed. No. A realization is much different. See, because family, a realization goes into your body. A realization goes through your whole energy field. And realization goes through all your energetic bodies. That's a realization. That's why a realization changes things energetically. A realization doesn't only live in the mind, even though we have used the word exclusively to speak of the thoughtmosphere, the mental self, and of your 5 selves: your mental self, your emotional self, your physical self, your physical self, your spiritual self. In the tarot, if we go according to the pentagram, right? And ether, the all self, higher self, or we would call spirit, right? The 5th element. If we go according to that, we know that you have a mental self and you have a spiritual self. And most of the time, when we use the word realize, we are using it to speak of something with regard to the mental self. And what we now are understanding is that a realization touches your spiritual self. A realization is in your emotional self. A realization is in your physical self. That's why the Course says, if I could realize but this today, I would not be afraid of love today. If I could do it, it doesn't mean if I could think about doing it. If I could actually not be afraid of love today, the whole world would be saved in an instant. If I am not afraid of love today, salvation would be reached for all the world. If just one of us could not be afraid of love today. Woo, hoo, hoo. I will not be, I'll take that deal. If I can realize this today, I just think about it, I just play around with it mentally. Some spiritual people, they just like to play with things in their mind, like a ball of Play-Doh, silly putty. just playing with it. That's not a realization. A realization could take out that pain in your back. A realization can put money in your bank accounts. A realization can put you on another country and another, I started to say another planet, that too can put you in another country, on another continent. That's what a realization can do. So if I can realize this, not just talk about it, I'm not going to be afraid of love today. That's so empty and shallow. We're just saying it. I'm not going to be afraid of love today. You've seen these people, right? It's none of you, because all of y'all are spiritual badasses and spiritual gangsters. Have you seen these spiritual people that walk around? I'm not going to be afraid of love today. They're just affirming everything. I love and light. They're wispy like feathers, and the first gust will take them over the edge of the cliff. You have more rooting and foundation and substance than that. I will not be afraid of love today goes deep for us. It's a code. It's a blood oath. It's the way I roll. I'm not going to be afraid of love. I did not know that I was afraid of love until pure unconditional love came in front of me and I was running. I promise you I was running. I was like, why? Because love requires that you get naked and vulnerable and let someone in. And I said to him, how did you get in here? You know how you got all your guardians at the gate. You go on a date, your guardians are up. The guardian of, I've been hurt before. I don't know about you. The guardian of, well, my father beat my mother. Are you an abuser? The guardian of, the last one I was with was a cheat and a lie and a snake in the grass. And maybe you are too. All that's with you on the first date. How can you even have a lovely first date? Right? The guardians come out. We're going on a date. Oh, wait a minute. The guardians were asleep inside our consciousness. They said, date? Wait a minute. Somebody called us. We're unconsciously calling the guardians up. The defense is up. Wall up. Date. Shoom. Don't let them in yet. I have to know if it's safe. Well, you're always safe. You're in danger nowhere in the world. Yet something in our psyche has us afraid of love. I literally asked him, how did you get in here? Like, how did you get past all the guardians? How did that happen? When I was asleep, did you just walk in past the fire breathing dragon I have at the door of my heart? Did you see that dragon? Yeah, high five the dragon on the way. There will be people that will be pure unconditional love, and they would just walk right back. They'll high five your fire breathing dragon. Now, the wimps and the punks and the people that don't know love and the people that are in the same fucked upness as we are, with the same defenses, the dragon will roast them. The other ones that are pure unconditional love, they'll just walk past your dragons. They'll walk past all your defenses. They'll just be straight in. How did you get in here? You're sitting in your love house, in your heart, and no one's there but you, and you have it just the way you like it. It's so beautiful. You have the furniture arranged exactly the way you love it, and you're sitting on your big plush red velvet sofa, about to go on a date. And then if the person just went past all your defenses and came in and sat next to you on the sofa in your heart, what are you doing in here? We don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to say, I love you first. We don't want to let them in because they might not like us as much as we like them. And then we'll be on the losing end of love. Or maybe we'll be betrayed again. Or maybe this one is not really serious. So I got to put you through some tests and some tasks. Any of this sound familiar? That was me. And to tell you the truth, I can't even use the word was with complete, what's what I want to say? Accuracy? Accuracy, because I don't know, I might do it again. Let somebody come along that's just dripping love and love all the time. Now, all the people around me are deep, deep lovers, deep lovers. Let someone come to me that's even a deeper lover than anything that I've ever experienced before. I may go back into some of my old patterns. I don't know. That's why we're here now saying, I will not be afraid of love today, and I'm going to make the vow not any day. The decision not to be insane. Oh my God. Oh my God, thank you, course. It's a decision not to be insane. Because what but insanity would make us afraid of love? We are love. That means you're afraid of yourself. And to accept myself as God Himself, accept myself as God Himself. Tell all the churches that, please it's Sunday, please go into all the churches and say, accept that I get to, this is why you exist. To accept myself as God Himself, my Father and my source. Oh my God. Why can't we do that? I'm going to show you something else while we're here. I'm going to show you something else. Let's go to, I think it's in How to Be a Christian Witch. Tons, oh my God, 222 ratings. I have to screenshot that. Please pardon me while I have a little experience here, because Mom, thank you. You, oh my God. Ma, that is amazing. Hold on, I have to take a picture of this. The screenshot is not going to work because I'm on Zoom. I'm on not Zoom. I'm on StreamYard. Hold on. I'm having an experience. I'm having a 222 moment. So I have to, because this book is so super magical. It sells every day, every day, every day. I have to take a picture of this because I'm just. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I'm back now. Oh, child. That's super magical. I mean, sometimes this magic just blows my mind. Like, what tells me to go to it now? Later on today, it's going to be at 223 or 225. I'm floored. Okay, let's go to some of these. Uh, let's see. Let's go to. There you go. Okay, here we go. Let's love on Hannah, because Hannah represents the part of my mind that does not believe in the Course in Miracles, is not on board with the Course in Miracles, and is actually opposed to the teachings of Course in Miracles. Here goes my mind. Here goes that part of my mind. Okay. Okay. I am very interested in things witchy, but to say you're a Christian witch and refer to yourself as a god, which shouldn't even need to be explained, how that doesn't make sense, or believe in a goddess. I was expecting to learn how to use the key is refer to yourself as a god, which shouldn't even need to be explained, how that doesn't make sense. We are so divorced. Just read most of the reviews are, of course, 5-star, because, and I don't want to say, of course, 5-star, like I think the book is that amazing. I do. Yet this book is here to spark a conversation. And this person is part of the conversation. And I so appreciate this person for showing me what I'm really thinking. Because I'm thinking that I'm thinking something else, yet this review is showing me that I'm really thinking something else. Ooh, thank you for showing me what I really think, because this review is showing me that there's a part of me that still doesn't want to refer to myself as God. That's the old Christian still in there. Cannot accept myself as God Himself. My Father and my source created me. Accept myself as God Himself, my Father and my source created me. We cannot accept ourselves as God created us, perfect, whole, complete. We cannot accept ourselves as one with source. We cannot accept ourselves as source. We cannot accept that this capital S self is us. We can't accept it because we want to be sinners. We want to be sinners. My work is cut out for me. My work as a Christian witch on this planet is well cut out for me. It's very cut out for me. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. to show me what I must heal and clear up in me. And it's the full moon. I'm going to do something on that. The determination not to be asleep in dreams of death, while truth remains forever living in the joy of love. Truth remains forever living in the joy of love. Truth remains forever living in the joy of love. Say it to yourself. Truth remains forever living in the joy of love. Truth remains forever living in the joy of love. Sometimes I just have to say something over and over and over again from the course so I can have the realization. Truth remains forever living in the joy of love. Truth remains forever living in the joy of love. Truth remains, it never left there. Forever is forever. Living is alive in the joy, truth and joy, in the joy of love. Truth and joy and love go together forever. Truth and joy and love. Well, anytime I'm not enjoying love, I must not be in truth. Easy. Anytime I'm not enjoying love, I must not be in truth. Easy. I must be believing a lie, thinking a lie if I'm not enjoying love. This is so simple to say and so fucking 10,000 lifetimes hard to do. I'm not going to say hard. I'm just going to say it's super challenging until you say, I'm a Christ now. And I don't need another 20 lifetimes in this place that is the pain planet in the third dimension. That is quite fascinating. I don't need more of these really harsh lessons. My son and I were talking about that yesterday. We're having conversations about when life comes for you, you know? And all of a sudden, at the same time, like me, those 2 years that I went through the dark night of the soul that I spoke of, in Dark Night of the Soul and Spiritual Badassery, when mom passed after a divorce, after she had been in my divorce, after she had been 2 years in a cancerous experience, after my divorce, painful, super emotionally toxic. I was super emotionally toxic in that divorce custody experience. I was super afraid. I just had to keep bringing myself. I had to keep bringing myself back to love. Keep bringing myself back to love. Keep bringing myself back to love. Sometimes I would go to the court. I would just have to wear all white. I would just have to white all the way up to go to even set my foot in yet another courtroom. We get to make the choice to recognize the self whom God created as the son he loves and who remains my one identity. That the self, that is the self of all selves, the self that is your God self, I said it, your God self. There's no separation between you and God. God's not way up there too holy for you to even touch the hem of his garment. God is accessible. God is imminent, and imminent. God is all of those. And this, the choice to recognize the self whom God created as the son he loves. God created an aspect of itself. God took its own self and created you in love and loves you. We cannot accept that we are the self that is the self that created us. We're still the same self. And who remains? Who? Capital W. God created you as a capital letter. Ooh. Capital W, a divinity, a God. But you want to look to other gods. You're the God. And who? Capital W, who? And this is the choice to recognize the self, the capital S self, whom God created as the son he loves, capital S son, capital W, whom. That there must be a choice made. There has to be a decision. Decide, side, kill, do, to. You got to kill one thing. You got to kill two. Kill duality. Decide. You have to kill something. Side is kill. Okay? I got to kill my duality and go into my oneness. You see, you make a decision and you make a choice. They're two different things. When you choose You might forget your choice. You're going to have to choose again. You have to choose again, and you have to choose again. Now, your choice is super powerful because you'll say, I want that and not that. So when you choose, you're making an affirmation for something and you're making a negation for something else. When you go to the buffet, you will say, I choose the salmon, I don't choose the shrimp. So you're not, the shrimp is a no for you and the salmon is a yes for you. And then maybe you go again to the bar and you choose again. When you decide, you kill something. You decide, you put your foot down. I decided. Ooh, what did you decide? I decided to recognize the self whom God created as the son he loves and who remains my one identity. My identity is the self God made. That's the identity. If I was to have a identity card from heaven, it would be blank. It would just be spirit. That's what your heavenly driver's license or your ID card from heaven would look like. Spirit. That's your identity. And everybody's got the same identity. Now, there's no problem with anything that we talked about thus far. There's no problem. It's very simple to understand. God created us as itself. Love created us as itself. God, Allah, Jehovah, however you desire to, however you connect with the one source, right? We all came from source. No problem with that. We all are of source. Okay, no problem with that. We are the capital I identity. No problem with that. Here's where the problem came in. Are we ready for this? We shoved the God self aside and created another identity. Gave it a name, Valerie. Gave it characteristics. Oh, we built this whole identity. Oh, we've been building this identity. We built it in school. Oh, I'm good at math. I must be good at math. I'm going to put that in my personality. Maybe I can use it to be better than other personalities. And we put in comparison. Am I as good as this at math as Joe is? Joe got a 90 on his test, and I got a 97. I'm better at math than Joe is. Okay, let me weave that into my personality because I'm making a false self because I put aside the self that God made. It's still there, and you can't be anything other than the self God made. Yet, didn't we have so much fun making up another self? A little self. And this self is a victim. And this self is a dumbass. It doesn't know anything. And this self has to get everything from the outside. And this self begs and pleads for people to love it because it doesn't know that it is love. And this self likes to get broke and not have money. I used to play that game because it doesn't know. And I can still play that game if I really want to play that game because it doesn't know that it is abundance. So we carefully crafted this. And then when something happened, quote unquote, happened in our world, someone slapped us. Oh my God, I've got to put some unworthiness in this false self because clearly I must be unworthy of love. Let me put that in my false personality self. And then after decades of building a false personality self, it's a Frankenstein monster. We've pieced it together, or a broken arm here and a fake leg here and a smile and put a lot of makeup on it so no one will notice that I'm Frankenstein. We cobbled this self together from experiences and we call that our real self. That's what we think is the self. We're convinced of it. And when someone comes along and says, no, that's not yourself, that's a false thing you put together, it's a Frankenstein monster, you made it. Drop it and be your true self. You don't even have to make yourself into your true self. There goes all personal development out the window. I spent years and years and years and years and years doing all that personal development. Be better. What are you making better? The Frankenstein monster. Wait a minute. I did all that personal development to make my Frankenstein monster better. Well, part of it, and I'm not saying personal development doesn't serve a purpose. Eventually, personal development will land you at your true self. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. There's nothing to improve because the identity is all. There's nothing to improve upon. There's nothing to become. I am. That's when the I am that I am from the prayer sinks in. I am that I am says there's nothing to become. You're it. And the prayer today says, I am freed of the grips of the lower self. The lower self, the ego self, the afraid self, the self, my Frankenstein is definitely afraid of love. This is not the real me. So when you go to, all these years of personal development, and then you'll land at spiritual development, and spirituality tells you, get rid of that Frankenstein monster. No, or chop off the arm of that Frankenstein monster. The arm of the Frankenstein monster is I'm separate from God. Chop off the arm, start deconstructing that monster. I can't cut my arm off. No, 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 no. It's not your arm. You don't have an arm. You're God. It's the Frankenstein monster's arm. Chop it off. We can't do it because we think we are chopping off our own. We think we are costing our own identity and it will be nothingness. That's why we can't let go of these beliefs. That's why I'm on TikTok now having this grand conversation with people about hell. And I'm amazed. Amazed. People don't want to let hell go. Why? If you let hell go, if you found out hell was a lie, wouldn't you be the happiest person on the planet? We can't let it go. Why? Because it's part of the Frankenstein monster. And you're telling me, chop off the arm of the Frankenstein monster. That's the belief you're separate from God. And chop off the foot of the Frankenstein monster. You believe that there's some kind of hell and that you can go anywhere other than back to God. You came from God. You live in God. You are God. You're in God. You can't go anyplace else other than God. There's no other destination other than God. And Christians say it. They say God is omnipotent, but God stops at hell. What? I thought you said God was omnipresent. Yes. Doesn't that mean everywhere present? Yes. Everywhere? Yes. Well, how come God stops at the door of hell and then the devil's like, okay, I take over now. Now I have you. There's nothing that God can do to save you. Is this what we're talking about? Yes. Why? Because you did something bad. You're an evil person. You didn't say you take Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Well, do I get a backseat? Do I get a chance to go with? I mean, I'll take anybody to be my Lord and Savior if this story is true. The story is so ridiculously untrue. The story came about 400 or 500 years after the death of Christ. Stop believing in that stupidity. Stop it. You can pick up a book. Pick up one book, Raising Hell. She tells you when the thing was invented, who invented it, who perpetrated it. She gives you the whole story in one book. And she made a long version and a short version. If you don't like reading, read the short version. Cut off the foot of that Frankenstein monster. You're deconstructing that Frankenstein monster. You made the thing. You're the only one that can break it up, bust it up. Oh, but we're crying and tremors. I've been in many deep healing circles. This morning it came to me as a DHC, a deep healing circle. I've been in many deep healing circles. Do you know how hard it is for us to give up that shit? We just want to hold on to it. We want to hold on to the Frankenstein monster. When God, when you're this vast, infinite love being born out of the heart of God, out of thought in the mind of God that never left its source. Why would you want to be anything other than that? All I want to be is that. Why would you want to be anything other than that when you find out who you are? But we got to fight for littleness. We have to fight to be sinners that are damned to hell, and we're bad, and we're victims, and nobody loves us. Okay. The Course is saying, if you're willing to kill that Frankenstein, only if you're willing, and trust me, you don't have to do it. You don't. You do not have to do it. You can do anything you want, family. And someone's here right now that's saying, Kaisi, I'm with you. I see my Frankenstein monster on the ground and hear you rise. I see my Frankenstein monster and I realize I made this whole thing. So now it's for me. That thing, do you understand that your Frankenstein monster went out and built relationships based on the Frankenstein monster? Have you had relationships built on your higher self? Oh my God. What if your higher self went out and got relationships? It would look like this circle right here. Do you realize that that Frankenstein monster on the ground has finances attached to it? Do you realize that your children have become accustomed to you if you hadn't already slayed your Frankenstein monster and helped your children to understand that that wasn't the real you? Do you understand your kids are still relating to you based on the Frankenstein monster? And then we're mad that when we have an epiphany and a revelation and an ascension, that our family don't realize it because the family is attached to your Frankenstein monster. You didn't destroy your Frankenstein and rewrite, redo the whole, get rid of the whole thing and show up no longer as your Frankenstein, show up as the pure divinity of source. That's what I'm working on doing. Let me not say working on. That is it, Spirit. Yes, I say yes. I say I am that I am. I say yes. Father, your name is love and so is mine. Boom. There is your prayer for today and all time. Father, Mother God, your name is love and so is mine. Your name is love and so is mine. Your name is love and so is mine. There's no distinction. And when it said your name is love, it's capital L love. It's not this little, I love you today, but tomorrow I'm going to cut you. That ain't love. I love you as long as you do what I say. I love you as long as you don't get on my nerves. I love you as long as you don't stick your dick in somebody else's vagina. What? That's not. Ain't that what we say? Ain't it? Isn't it?
Cracking up.
It's what I said. Yeah, I love you if you don't. That's not love. Father, your name is love, and so is mine. Such is the truth. And can the truth be changed by merely giving it another name? We can't change the truth. The truth is unchangeable. You are love from love, capital L love. Your name is love. The name of fear is simply a mistake. That's my Frankenstein monster on the ground. And I don't deal with anyone anymore like that. I can let my Frankenstein die in the great blazing light of this full moon in Aries tonight, because Aries is fire. Burn it up. Let it burn to a crisp. Let me not be afraid of truth today. I will not be afraid of love today. That is lesson 282. Ooh, let me have this realization today, Spirit. Let me have this realization today.
Oh my
God. What you hearing? What you hearing, Queen Vashti? Oh my God.
That you and this course is all up in my business.
Why is the course coming for us this morning? Why? First thing in the morning, the course be coming for you.
Well, because the course came for me last night before we even started this morning. So my God self showed up to me in the form of a gentleman that I have never met, maybe a week or so ago. And so he's been very, different from the start. So I'm just, just being me, just checking everything out or whatever. And so last night he says to me, will you let me love you?
Woo! 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 I would not be afraid of love today. Woo!
But last night, the first thing I said was, what do you mean?
Are you kidding? Of course not. I'm terrified of love. Are you kidding? Get out of my face. Will I let you love me? Not just like that. You have to prove some things to me first. Oh, Lord.
Yes. Immediately I said, what do you mean?
What?
In what way? And then something clicked.
Look,
and I said, sure.
Were you sure. Explain yourself. Explain, Lucy, explain. Explain yourself. Will you let me love you? What are you talking about? We don't do that on the planet I come from. You got to prove some things first.
Right. So this course this morning, just because immediately I was like, wait a minute.
What? Alarm, red alert.
What you talking about? Because I need some clarity. But then something clicked in me maybe a few minutes later, and I was like, sure. I just said sure. But still there was the question, like...
You said it. Your higher self spoke and said sure.
Yes.
Yes.
There still was a question, though.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yep.
And he just said, in whatever way you want to let me, or something to that effect.
Wow.
Yeah, anyways, this course this morning, that was the first thing. I will not be afraid of love today. So, that immediately popped into my head, my experience from last night. And we're going through this course, and we're on day 282. So I know this is my God self. I know this is my God self teaching me and showing me where my consciousness is.
Yes.
And my mind is crazy. I was like, what you talking about? So
wow.
It lets me know that, I'm doing the work, but there's still work to be done. Because there should have been no question as far as love. There should have been no question, because that part, what's that statement? What does it say? Truth forever remains in living in the joy of love. Mm-hmm. That is so perfect. I know it's a whole thing, but I just got that part. Mm-hmm. That part is so profound for me. Truth forever remains living in the joy of love. And this course is really in my business right now.
Ooh, baby.
And I don't mind. I don't
bring
mind
it.
Because this is assisting me. You want to know why you keep attracting crazy? Because you crazy. So now you're doing the work, and you have this pure of heart. When you said when that person came to you that was pure unconditional love, and you was still like, wait a minute, how did you get in here? That was me. Like, hold up, what you doing?
Whoa.
I ain't ready for that yet.
That's right. Hold the horse.
And then I had to realize, hey, immediately my higher self jumped in and was like, what are you talking about? Girl, if you don't say yes. And stop playing.
Yes.
And my life is changing so drastically. This course, and I'm not here every day. The times that I'm here, I'm here on the weekends. Mm-hmm. Yet the course is still working in my life, and I can see it. It's evident, and wow, I just can't. I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat with bated breath, waiting for what happens next. Amazing.
Who else is not going to be afraid of love today? Who else is not going to be afraid of love today? Who else?
God.
Welcome.
I love this thought. Today, I will not be afraid of love. Talking about experiences. I had a similar experience last night. And I just looked and said, thank you, God, that I am not home. Because I wasn't home. And I got a call from someone that I love and have loved for over 40 years. And obviously, he decided he wanted to leave his residence. Thought he was going to come to my house. I was like, I'm so glad God put me here. Because when you leave your situation, no matter how much you love me, You will not hide out in my house. You need to deal with that situation before you come to my house. And we love each other dearly. But God does works for me. He does work for me, and I am so grateful. Because I don't need to be up in that space. Y'all need to take care of y'all's business and then come back later. But we were friends for a very long time. He's married, and all three of us were friends for a very long time until she started asking me, what can I do? What is it? What's wrong with this relationship? I wanted to tell her, y'all don't love each other. But, you know, people see love. You don't respect each other. You don't like each other. How can you be in a relationship and say you're in love and not like the person in any form or fashion? Really? There's something wrong with that picture. But Holy Spirit does work for you, and I love that story about the brother coming to you and saying, oh, will you let me love you? When I met Daniel,
powerful question.
Kaisi knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, how is he? I love Daniel.
Daniel is transforming. He's great. He's great. He's great. He's great. But you know, the first thing that made me say yes to him, to just hang out with him, he came to me and he said, would I consider going out with him? Because he's white and I'm definitely black. It ain't no question about that. And when he said, would I consider? No one in my life had ever said that. It's like if someone came to me and said,
so wait a minute. He said, will you go out with me? And you said,
will you go out? He didn't say, will you? He said, will you consider? Will you think about it?
Wow.
I was like, okay.
We're going to go on Clubhouse, family.
We've been friends for about 10, 15 years.
Peace.